Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 9. So, what do you think about this week's episode? To be honest, I thought this week's episode was fantastic. I did a phenomenal job at, raising the stakes to heights that we haven't seen ever in this franchise as a whole. And I think that this is a very important moment for the franchise as well, because now that the stakes are so high for our heroes, we got to see how they're going to overcome these stakes that were presented in this week's episode. Now, before I go any further discussing this week's episode, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Jujutsu Kaisen as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So how the episode starts off is actually in a pretty bizarre way, where we actually cut to a flashback where we see the main cast of JJK. They had been presented with a question, is like, describe, Gojo, like pretty much just describe him. And we see all these characters, all his students are describing him, and they're just talking about Gojo as a whole. And you see, it's Juji, Maki, Nobara, Fujigoro, Oro, all the people. Pretty much everybody just has something to say about Gojo. But the one thing that, this whole little flashback ends up with is all of them agreeing, like, he is the strongest. And that's something that we've seen up to now in the story, where, up to now, Gojo has been presented as an unstoppable force. And that's something that we had all been, seeing for the entirety of the show. And, there's a reason why all the villains want to, plan this elaborate scheme to eliminate him. Because they know that he is the strongest and he can one-shot everybody. So I did like that scene where you see, pretty much the squad and just how they feel about Gojo. It was some silly humor here and there, especially from like Maki, best girl. So then after the flashback, we cut back to the present time and we see that Gojo is just absolutely wrecking shop. And he's just destroying and absolutely demolishing both Yogo and Hanami. Like, they're just getting bodied. And it's so funny because throughout the whole fight, Gojo is just going like bloodless. Like, he took this personal because he's seen how much damage these two curses have done, and how many people they killed. So he's like, I'm gonna make sure that I demolish you guys, and he definitely does. Like, he just wipes the floor. And Yogo specifically, he's freaking out, and he's saying like, we gotta dip out of here because we can't defeat him. We gotta run. We just gotta stall for time. And throughout it all, you see Hanami. She's like, no, I'm gonna try to fight Gojo, and that was the biggest mistake she could have ever done, because she just gets, her binds taken out of her eyes, and Gojo's just like, oh, so you cannot use your domain amplification while you're attacking me with your ability. Good, yeah, I figured that much. And he just starts completely wiping the floor with Nanami. And Yoko's like, oh no, this is bad. And in the background, you even see Chozo like trying to get an attack on Gojo. But like I have said, Gojo just continues to wipe the floor with two of them. And we see that eventually he gets to the point where he just obliterates Hanami. Like, with his infinity, he just demolishes it. Like, all the pressure that Gojo's projecting, he's limitless and all that, he's just, he makes Hanami explode. And when that happens, Yogo's like, yeah, I'm out of here. He starts dipping. He's like, I gotta just stall for time. And then we cut to another flashback where we see all the curses. They're kind of just chilling, having like a game night, I guess. They're playing dominoes or something, which was very funny. Like, just imagining every time I see the curses just hanging out, like either at the beach or just like, playing dominoes, it's just so funny because you're like, these are curses. These people are monsters. Yet they still know how to have some fun, which I find pretty hilarious overall. But what we see is that we are presented with this flashback where we see that, Geto, he's been just telling the plan about, okay, we got to make sure that we trap Gojo, and it might take me like 20 minutes to prepare the box. But once I do, you have to have Gojo in a 4-meter radius, I believe, or something along those lines. And he has to be like a whole minute of prep time. And if you guys get him, like, if this happens, we win. And Yoko's like, you're crazy. This is a suicide mission. There's no way this could ever happen. And then, Geto's just like, no, I know it will happen. We can make it happen. So just trust me when I say that we can make it happen, and it will happen. And while we're seeing all of this, we cut back once again to the present time where we see Geto just kind of sitting around with the octopus spirit next to him. And he's just like, it's almost time. Like, it's almost showtime. And he doesn't seem worried at all, because he knows that this plan of his, he's been calculating it to the very minuscule detail, and he knows that he can make it happen. So he's not worried about anything. But what we see is that Gojo, we cut back to him, and he's just, like I said, bloodlusted. He's hunting down Yogo and everybody. He's just trying to like body Chozo and Hanami, but he's like, this guy's not a curse spirit. He must be one of the people that ate like a curse item, like the other two people that Nobara and Juji defeated. But I cannot exorcise him because he's not a spirit. But while all that is happening, we see that pretty much Juji, we cut back to him and we see that he's under the subway, and we see that he finds a human, and she's kind of just scared. He talks to the human transforms into a curse spirit. We know it's obviously Mahito's doing, and we see that the lady was telling Juji like, why did they put everybody in the train? And Juji's like, wait, what does that mean? Like, whoa, what? And obviously this was all planned elaborately by the curses. They send all these people and transform them with Mahito's ability. You see Mahito come out of the train, and you see that all these curses are in there. And once the train comes in, it goes to where Gojo's location is, and you see the doors open and all these curses come out, and Mahito comes out, and Mahito tries to step up to Gojo. Gojo doesn't even like flinch because he can't even penetrate his defense. And Mahito's like, wow, I can't really touch you. That's crazy. And Gojo's like, okay, I need to wipe the floor with these people. And you see Yogo and Mahito just having a blast. They're like, yeah, we're gonna kill all these people. This is awesome. And Gojo, they start saying like, there's no way he would ever use like his domain expansion in here. Like, there's no way. Like, we checkmated him. Like, there's no way he would ever come to that. Like, so I think we got him. Like, this plan of ours will work because he will never use the domain expansion, knowing that he will harm the people there. But little did they know that Gojo's just like, yeah, it's a lost cause. I will use it. Screw this. And he just proceeds to use his domain expansion, which completely, obliterates all of them in the sense that they're just all stun lock. Like, the infinity, is all in their brain. They can't move at all, and we see that Gojo, apparently he used his domain expansion on the people to make it like 0.2 of a second. So, their brains don't become scrambled and just turn into a vegetable after the fact. So Gojo had to really nerf himself to make sure that the people that he used his domain expansion on, they don't just automatically die. So what we see preceding that is that he proceeds to just kill 1,000 curses in 299 seconds. So if you do your math, kids, that's about 3 point something curses per second, which is insane. Like, my man he was booking it. He went lightning speed. He was trying to be the Flash. He was trying to be the Flash out around, Wally West, Barry Allen. None of them. Gojo just outsped them, right? And we see that Gojo just proceeds to, wipe the floor with all of them. And he's just like bloodlusted. He's pissed. He's like, okay, enough games. Like, and what we see is that Gojo's exhausted too, because, you got to think about it. He ran all that throughout the entire, subway station, like killing all these curses. He's exhausted. He's gassed out. And what we see is that you see a box being thrown at him, and this box is the prison box. And while we see the box activate, we know that Gojo has to be distracted or so, because otherwise the box won't be able to trap him. He needs to be there for, I believe, a minute or so. So Gojo sees that, is like, okay, I probably like should get out of there. Like, I don't think this is a good idea. So he proceeds to try to leave, but then he is hit by Geto showing up, and he's like, hey, long time no see. And Gojo is just completely shocked about the whole situation. He's like, there's no way. Like, what? And we got to remember, this guy killed, Geto at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie. So this is the first time he's even ever seen Geto, like, at all. So him knowing that he survived, or he's seen him walk around, he gets completely shocked. And then we see like Gojo's state of mind, where it's just a big flashback of everything we witnessed, throughout the Gojo side story earlier in the season. He's literally genuinely shocked. He starts thinking like, there's no way he can, there's a curse that can transform. Like, it has to be some magic or trick or something, because I did kill Geto. Like, there's no way that's him. And while all that is happening, he's distracted enough that the box, takes effect and proceeds to capture Gojo, and he's helpless now. And Gojo just proceeds to be like, who are you? Like, there's no way you're the real Geto. I killed him. Like, I know for sure that I killed him. I know your soul, your curse energy, everything's Geto's, but you're not Geto. There's no way. And then we see that, Geto proceeds to undo the stitches on his head, and we are revealed that Gojo was 100% correct. That is not Geto. That is Geto's corpse being controlled by a curse. That curse being Kenjaku. And he explains that his whole ability is that he can take over people's bodies, and once he does, he can, learn their abilities and their curse techniques and all that. And pretty much he did that because he knew that Geto was very powerful. Another one of the special grades, that it was only Gojo himself and then that one female, I forgot her name, but he took the initiative. He said, once you guys gave the body to Shoko, like from there on it was easy peeking. Like I took care of the rest. And then we proceed to see Gojo just completely like pissed off and just tell Kenjaku like, hey, just so you know, like good luck trying to like win at the end of the day, because the guy that beat Geto is still out there. And he's like, oh, you're talking about Yuta? Yeah, I have no interest in him. I didn't take over him at all, because his whole shtick with the Cursed Queen and all that's very gimmicky. Like the only reason he's that powerful is because he has a binding bow with that. So it's more complex. Geto is just much easier. And at the end of the day, like I already did it. Whatever, I don't care. Like Yuta, I don't see the potential like you see in him. Like there's no way he can ever surpass you. And what we end up seeing is that Gojo, he pretty much gets captured by the Prism Realm, and then we cut back to the point of view where Juji's like, whoa, what's happening? And you see that there's like a headset in his ear now, and it's like, hey, listen, Juji, if you're listening to this right now, Gojo has been sealed. And we obviously see his like Mekamaru's sign, so it must be like a contingency plan that Mekamaru had in place, just in case if he were to be taken out, to alert everybody about Geto and Mahito's plan. So yeah, that's how the episode ends. We see that Juji is informed that Gojo has been sealed, which is a huge crucial moment in the franchise, because now that Superman has been taken down, like Gojo, the strongest sorcerer, he's out of the picture now. So now the students as well as the rest of the sorcerers have to step in and take care of Geto, or should I say Kenjaku, and his curses. And now the main thing about this arc is going to be, can the heroes overcome the struggle without Gojo? And that's something we're going to have to see going forward in the show. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.